Hey, good day everyone, and welcome to another session where we'll look at some market analysis. Cutting edge trading room. Okay, so to begin, we'll try and look at as much instrument as that are interesting, and then we'll see basically the analysis that we can deduce from there. Okay, so on my charts here, I have Euro GBP. So Euro GBP is one where I have been basically waiting. I've been on the sidelines. Market has been very sure looking for some sell-off. But still, so you could see here that we seem to have broken structure, even though it's not the clearest of break. But we broke down. So you can see here that we'll be making lower lows, lower highs, right? Down into this region, and then here we broke out, so we made a higher high, and then we broke down again and made a lower low. Now we made a higher high. So this is looking as though it's looking more or less like an accumulation model, where it seems like orders are being gathered here, and then maybe price wants to shoot up. But so this one is just one that would keep in mind. Not necessarily want to do so much with. So what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see price actually come up and take out this high. So this high here, if price were to break above that high, maybe we see price pull back down. But whatever the case, if price breaks above this high, that's when I'll be interested in looking for buys. If we, looking for buying opportunity on any sort of pullbacks, obviously with confirmation to take this higher. Okay, so Euro GBP, that's just on it. Okay, so let's jump over to GBP USD. The GBP USD, we've been bullish on this one for a very, very long time, all the way from down here. We basically capture most of this move, all of a good portion of it upward, and now you could see price is pulling back down. So, but you can see the clear structure in the market since this low here. Price has been very, very bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so you could see it here. We've been bullish on this market, and what do we expect? Well, we expect price to continue bullish. Now, pullbacks like this, or we have this big buy move, and then we're having this basically V bottom or V top, where price is selling off. Now, this is interesting because it should then give us an idea of what areas to pay attention to as to where we could begin to look for buying opportunity. Because remember, we're looking for buying opportunity because the structure of the market is bullish, right? The context of the market is bullish, so we're looking for that buying opportunity. Currently, where price is from an area of interest, right? So if you want to use Fibonacci or something like that, you could just pull up your fee from low to high, right? And that would be, you could see this falls around the 61.8, but not necessarily what I do. I'm looking at this last down move before the up move. That's this candle week here, and then that's it's supposed to be an area of interest. That's the only leftover imbalance or leftover block I can see in this move here. Okay, so that being said, because the thing now will be to look for confirmation to get involved in the trade. So we're pulling back. Let's drop down to the 1 hour charts and let's see what we want to look for. So you can see here that so this is the 1 hour structure of that same price. You can see from this high here, price began to make lower lows and lower highs. So price continued to make lower lows and lower high, right? And it's still making lower lows and lower highs. Now, what we want to see, or what I would like to see now, is for price to change character or to change structure. So let's keep an eye for this. Let me draw out what I will be looking for. Now, this high here, you can see where my alert line is. This high here is of interest, right? If buyers are really ready to start going up, we have tapped into an area of interest, a zone of high probability trade. And then what I would like to see next is for price to begin to deliver bullish, right? So that will be the next context I would look for. Now, there's the reason we're waiting for, we have this here instead of starting to look for buys is because obviously there's still that chance that price might drop lower. There's still that possibility that the market drops down lower before maybe beginning to move up. So we want to begin to buy when the context in the market is clear on the buy side. Okay, so right now I will just be waiting on the sideline, wait for price to break out, and then we begin to look for those buy opportunity. Now, once we have that, let's see if we have a breakout, price could pull back and give us a trade, or price could just very well continue to move, in which case we'll be looking for context to look for those buying opportunity. But overall, we're looking for buys back to these highs here, right? So that's the basically my trade analysis on GBP USD. What we're looking for the buy move to the upside, but I would like to wait for a break of the side. For those of you who like to look at trend line break, it's quite difficult here, because the question is, which trend line do you use? Do you use this or this? Or so I'll just rather wait for contextual structure, wait for price to change character, and then begin to push up. Okay. Now, for if you're looking to get involved on a smaller time frame, obviously, you might drop down and begin to look for structural move here. Then you might be able to you can get involved in a buy trade now with something like this, where you have your stop loss, let's say below this area, and then you go after highs. Okay, so this is one way of playing it out. The other way, the safe way, the other way is to wait for the price to actually show its hand in terms of what it wants to do, and then begin to look for that buy move. But from where price is, you can see we basically in this particular price structure here, we have, we're making lower lows, right? Lower lows, and then we broke and started making higher lows, right? So ideally, if this market is ready to begin to move, this is the riskier version, because there's a good chance price could drop down and then before continue to move. You can look to get involved here with a small position or something, and then obviously remember, risk management is everything. So if let's say you're risking 1% or 0.5% of your account on a particular trade, so you know that, okay, that's 0.5% here, use the appropriate loss size, and then look to go after the next move. And then if price breaks up, you could look to get involved with another trade, and with confirmation, obviously. So GBP USD, I'm watching and waiting for potential for a reason to go long, right? This is quite interesting, but I'll probably want to wait for price for confirmation in the form of structural shifts to the upside. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so that's GBP USD outlook and how you could look to trade that. Okay, so now let's go over to Euro USD. So Euro USD is actually doing nothing. It's also also waiting for price to get to an area of interest, and then I'll look for buy opportunity. So you could just this will just be a quick one. These are the areas I'm interested in. Looking for buys. This market is bullish. I'm only interested in buying this market. I'm not trying to sell. I'm not interested in selling whatsoever. Just looking for buys. Okay, so you can see how price is approaching this area here. So what I'd like to see, you can see we've had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days of bearish candles in a bullish structure, right? So ideally, we at some point we'll have to see price. The buyers will step in. Most of this is profit taking. The buyers will step in and begin to move price in the direction upward again. That's the idea. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So this area highlighted here is an area I'm interested in looking for buys from. That's 1.1030. So between 1.1030 to around 1.0975. So that's the first area, looking for buy opportunity within this area. Or if price continues to drops down toward 1.0900 to like 1.0840 within that area, look for buy opportunity. But for now, I'm not trying to sell. I never tried to sell into this area. I'm not trying to sell into this area either. I'm just waiting for the move upwards. So if price drops into this area, we get confirmation. I'll look to buy that. And where will my targets be? This would be my target. So once I get a move here that I'm interested in, all I'll be doing is trying to buy this up here. If price continues to drop and drops here and we find confirmation here, still the same thing, I'll still be targeting this high. So that's the way I'm looking to trade Euro USD, but just waiting for confirmation within the area we've highlighted. USD JPY. So USD JPY is one where this market has been bullish for quite some time. It's been very bullish for a long time, and I expect price to, obviously, if you zoom out, you see it's been bullish. We broke down and then started breaking back up again. Now, the way I look at this market, the context for me is that price wants to come back up here. Right, if you look at the weekly charts here, you'd see that you'd see that obviously overall this market is very, very bullish, very, very, very bullish. And well, in the bullish markets, we expect price to continue to go up. That's the part of this resistance. So that said, price did break down below this low, in which case I actually started looking for buying opportunity here. I got involved in some very nice buy trade, which I'm still holding. Which I'm still holding. I've taken partial, obviously, and I'm just letting the rest to run. But for now, the idea on this one is to maybe look for the 1 hour structure to trade, looking for buys. So in this one, I think I sent out on the Telegram channel. We're looking for possibly price to pull back into this region and then look for that buy. You can see now there's no guarantee price will do that, but if it does, that's an area I actually will be interested in looking for buy opportunity within here. Now, if price doesn't pull back down here, if price doesn't get here to give me the buy, if price breaks above this high here, then I'll start focusing on this low to whatever high price makes and look for pullback within there to look for buy and start buying. Okay, so for now, unless price takes out this high, I'm looking for price to maybe come back down here and then give me buy opportunity. Okay, remember there's a high impact news coming out today by 3 p.m. Today is the I think 25th. Today is the 25th of the month, so you get the idea. Now, let's move to the next pair. NZD USD. So NZD USD. Let's look at the daily charts. NZD USD, yeah, this is one that price has also tapped into an area that I am interested in looking for buys from. You could see it here. And now all I'm looking for is basically buy. So this is my target, this high here. Price has tapped into an area I'm interested in. The market is bullish, and then you could see that we broke bullish again here, right? We're making this higher high. So in terms of context, this would be, price went from this low to this high, right? Then we tapped into, pull this over here. Let's just delete this. And then you can see we pull back down. Nope. Just let me drag this, yeah. Now we pull back down into here, and then we began to push up. So again, now this would be the what we're looking for. This is now the new structure, right? So from this low here to this high here, and you can see price has come into another area of interest, and already we're seeing how price is reacting. So let's see if we get this is exactly what I'd like to see. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back-to-back bearish candle. We tapped into this zone and price began to push up. Very good sign. So if we go up to the 4-hour chart, what we're looking for now is context, structural context to look for buys. I don't see anything here, so let's drop down to the 1-hour charts. The 1-hour chart is still looking bearish, so you can see price is making lower lows and lower highs. So there's no context to look for buys here, but we can actually drop further because this is an area we're interested in. The 30-minute chart is beginning to break bullish, but I think, we can work with this. So price came into here. This here might be considered Wyckoff schematic, Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So price bearish, preliminary supply, selling climax. We have our spring. Then price broke up, showed a sign of strength, and then began to move. So ideally, there's a good chance price actually never came. price actually never came back down. So there's a chance that that could happen, but there's also the chance that price is also accumulating again to then continue to move up. So this is basically, there's no leftover order block here except for maybe this one. Price has broken higher and then broken higher. Now, remember, this is 15-minute chart here. So ideally, so you can see another low to high. We broke structure here. Price pulls back down into this area here, and then it's beginning to move. So if you're looking for a trade, this is one that you can, actually look to get involved in. Also remembering that, if you look to get involved in a trade here, you should be targeting this high, right? This high, and you obviously, if price begins to move your way, you move your stop loss to break even, maybe take some partial, because price could very well come back down to some maybe leftover order block here to begin to move up, in which case we'll look for another buy here. But as far as this pair is concerned, I am interested in looking for buys. The context of the market is bullish, so this is one where although price has begun to move, the best point would have been to get involved like this, and then maybe go after this high. So that would be 1:2.8, about 1:3 risk to reward ratio. But now price has moved. So if you get involved here, your risk to reward ratio doesn't look as nice again. So it might be probably, you might probably decide to wait for maybe price to break out, of this new high, right? So if price maybe breaks out of this new high, you look for retracement and then look to buy that retracement, targeting those new highs. So if you like risk, obviously you can look to get involved here and then maybe go after those highs, but chances are price could spike back down. So it's about looking for context such that you can use proper risk management without having to wish that the market goes your way. Okay, so NZD USD, bullish on this one. Price is in an area of interest. I actually have some trades set up here, although those trades are on my bots, but they are looking for buys only. I'm going to be looking for buys in this market up to these highs here. Okay. Eurocard. So Eurocard as well. Let's see. So Eurocard as well, we had this break. The reason I'm looking at this, I had this here, is because I was anticipating, okay, do we see a reaction from here? So today's candle would be quite, today's candle would be, what you call it, would be important in as to whether we look for buys here. So you could see we've tapped into this zone, right? There's also another one down here. However, if today's candle ends up closing, back above so how do I explain this now? Look at the previous day low here. This is the low of the previous day. So if today's candle closes back above this previous day low, then that could signify the price maybe wants to respect this area and begin to push up. You can also maybe go down to the smaller time frame and then look for context or structure. So this will be the previous day low. And then you could just, let me drag this out like this. It's just to the side. So this is the previous day's low. We'll see if this candle closes back above it. And then you want to keep this high in mind. So if we have a break above here, and we have a pullback, you can use that as a reason to buy, put your stop loss below this low, and then, well, you target the high. So it will be something like so let's say price breaks up, not now, let's say price breaks structure and begin to push higher. You could look for a buy trade where if price pulls back down, something like this, and then you could, so let me go to the higher time frame, look for something like this. Okay, but it has to be in context. Now, obviously, this would be the predominant main target, because if price begins to push up, that's probably where it wants to go. But you definitely want to take profits as price moves your way. But it's all about waiting to see if the market gives you the context you're looking for, because you don't. It's at the end of the day, today's candle could end up being bearish, and then if you've jumped in, you find yourself on, for taking a trade that there was no reason for you to take the trade. So it's all about waiting for the context to align with your analysis or what you're looking for. And then if they align, and then you can look to get involved in the trade, obviously with proper risk management, target those highs. Okay. So that's AUD JPY, not doing anything with this. GBP CAD, GBP CAD. Yeah, GBP CAD, also keep this area here in mind. Watch for structural shifts. You might begin to look for structural shifts to buy. So break above these highs. Look for context to get involved in a buy. Okay. Gold, I'm bullish on gold. Very bullish on gold. I made mention to this. I sent it out on the Telegram channel. Thanks, you guys. I don't know what happened to my chat. It cleared out. We had, I think it was drawn something like this. At the time, I said we're looking for pullbacks. We didn't get that pullback, but I did get involved in some buys. And now prices, the structure of the market is bullish. We have tapped into, we're making higher highs and higher lows. And that's basically what we look for in price. If we're looking for buying opportunity, and price is pulling back into an area of interest. So now we can actually look to get involved in this trade. Actually, you can't even look to get involved the way price is like this. Although remember, this is gold, so you just use proper risk management, and you can go after stuff like this, right? So this would be a 1:2.7. Alternatively, what you can do is, in order to make the risk to reward ratio better, you can wait for price to maybe pull back, set a pending order for price to pull back to maybe the halfway point of this. Now, the disadvantage of this is that price may not pull back, but the advantage of this is you can see your risk, at least the risk to reward is much, much better. This will now be a 1:5.2 as opposed to 1:2.7. So gold I'm bullish on. Like the idea of looking for buys from where price currently is. So it's all about getting that out of the way. Okay, so I think that's the much that I'll be able to take for the session today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Remember, if you're watching from YouTube, to leave a like and ensure to subscribe to the channel. So cheers, until next time, do have a wonderful day.